Alright, hey guys, Lucian99 here, coming at you with another review, and today I am reviewing WWE SmackDown for August 22nd, 2014. But before we get started with the actual review, my WWE Network subscription ends tomorrow, and I decided really not to renew it just because I'm so busy when school comes around with schoolwork and soccer and basically stuff like that, so really spending $9.99 a month wouldn't be the best decision because I don't really have enough time to watch all of the programming on it. And sure, it's a good thing to have, but I would rather spend my save my money for something a little bit more like useful and something that I would spend more time with during the school season. However, once it comes to December and like the TLC pay-per-view and that kind of stuff, I will probably renew my subscription. So that is when I will bring back the reviews. So for the time being, as I don't have the network subscription, I will only be reviewing Raw, SmackDown, and Impact. So that's just a little bit of like I don't know, I guess like an announcement for you. So let's just get started with tonight's show. It was in Phoenix, Arizona. SmackDown commentators were Tom Phillips, Michael Cole, and JBL. I'm very glad Phillips got called up, and because he really deserves it. I actually enjoy him as a commentator a lot. I think tonight though, he did not do the best. He didn't do as good as I wanted him to do for his first night on SmackDown. So we start off with the SummerSlam recap yet again. You know, it's pretty cool, but it's getting kind of old because we saw it on every single show this week. We then kick off with Randy Orton. Orton cuts a decent promo. Basically says to Roman that he's going to get his revenge and decimate him. And then he says RVD's just in his way for tonight. And, you know, I was thinking Orton versus RVD should be, you know, pretty awesome later on in the show, but we'll get to that later. And then Seth Rollins comes out for his match, and Orton and him high-five. I thought that was a little neat way to show the authority on the show. So, our first match tonight was Seth Rollins versus Jack Swagger. I like how they have the German announce team for both Raw and SmackDown now. I think that's just, I don't know, it's just a cool thing to have. And then a recap of the Rollins and Ambrose feud is shown. Swagger hits a couple of nice slams at the start. Seth hits a nice dropkick and starts focusing on the ribs. Swagger hits a belly-to-belly suplex after catching Seth in the middle of like a double axe handle, so that's pretty cool. Rollins hits a huge kick to send Swagger to the outside, and then we go to break. And right as we come back, Swagger hits this awesome German suplex. Swagger then starts to come back, hits a Swagger bomb for 2. Rollins hits a kick, went for the big knee, the springboard knee, and Swagger catches him for the Patriot Lock. Swagger then counters a curb stomp into this huge slam over the top rope. That was a really cool spot, very dangerous move there. Rollins went for a baseball slide. Swagger locks in the ankle lock yet again. And then he goes for a clothesline and then missed, and his arm hits the steel post. Swagger then gets thrown over the barricade. He gets back in at 9, but then gets hit by the curb stomp. Rollins wins by countout. I actually really enjoyed this match. I think Rollins needed the win, so it made sense for him to pick up the win here tonight. And it continues Swagger's like recent downfall, so I think that's also neat storyline-wise. It was a really cool finish, and overall just a very enjoyable match. Oh, excuse me. And then Bo Dallas comes out and cuts a pretty awesome promo, and I like how these two are going to have a feud. Dallas and Swagger. Then we have a Bella Raw segment recap. Miz talks to Kane, and Kane announces the main event, Roman Reigns versus Miz yet again. Our next match was Rusev versus Sin Cara. Sin Cara hits a couple of nice drop kicks at the start, then hits a missile drop kick. Rusev then just kicks Sin Cara's head off. That was just... Rusev has a pretty good super kick, I'm not gonna lie. It's very impressive. And then he gets on the accolade and it's over. It was a standard Rusev match. Sin Cara actually got some offense in, so that was kind of cool. And Rusev is still selling the ankle injury from the Swagger feud, so I think that's kind of cool as well. Lana cuts her typical promo, and then out comes Henry. So I guess they're kind of ditching the Henry and Show team for the tag team titles, which I'm completely fine with. Because I think this gives Rusev two more, actually strong opponents that would be impressive for him to take down. Henry, and then you have Big Show. You could do that at Hell in a Cell. So, I think that's good for Rusev. And, I think this feud between these two can be solid. RVD cuts a promo backstage and then gets attacked by Orton. Orton versus RVD. Up next, RVD goes right for Orton. RVD just basically comes in house on fire. Huge offensive maneuvers. It's a flip over the top rope. Orton counters the RVD apron kick thing. So RVD then sort of gets hurt. Orton throws him into the barricade, the table, back suplex onto the announcer's table. They both get counted out, and Orton just continues to beat down RVD to write him off of TV, of course. I was a little bit disappointed with this match. I kind of expected more of it, but, it's understandable because they have to make Orton look like this beast for the continuation of the Reigns and Orton feud. Orton just hits this awesome RKO on the steel chair that was pretty sweet. Reigns then cuts a backstage promo, so it was Reigns' typical promo for that. Then we had Natalya versus Paige. This was a rematch from Raw, so I thought it was going to be good. Back and forth action right at the start. Paige hits a nice super kick, very aggressive. Paige dominates, and then AJ comes down. AJ takes the title. Paige almost gets counted out as she gets back the title. Natalya locks in the sharpshooter as Paige comes back in the ring as AJ stares down Paige, taunts her with the Divas title, and Natalya picks up the win via submission. It was a good match for what it was, and, despite the same finish and the same, incentive for them to beat each other every week, I'm still really enjoying this feud, and hopefully they actually have some time at the Night of Champions pay-per-view. Unfortunately, I won't be able to watch it, but I'll probably watch a highlights video or something like that. And I'm hoping that AJ versus Paige is going to be one of the better matches that night. Then we have Stardust and Goldust versus Rowan and Harper. Usos cut a promo during the match, which was pretty awesome. Stardust starts off with Harper, good back and forth action. Goldust comes in after a nice bulldog. Rowan hits a huge shoulder block that sends Goldust outside the the ring. We go to commercial break. Wyatt's continue to dominate. Goldust eventually hits a Hurricane Rana and sends Harper flying. Harper has a powerbomb. Stardust able to break it up at 2. Rowan goes over the top rope from Stardust. Stardust went for a springboard, karate chop or something like that, and Harper hits a big boot to him, so Stardust is out. Goldust rolls up Harper for the 1, 2, 3, and Goldust and Stardust pick up the win. Wyatt have this massive beatdown after the match, so that was kind of cool to see. It was a good match, and the post-down beatdown was good as well. Then we have the main event, Reigns versus Miz, which was given no time at all. Orton comes down during the match. Reigns and Miz, nice back and forth sequence right at the start, and then Reigns hits the spear. The match was basically literally nothing. They only had 5 minutes to work a match, so that was kind of disappointing, especially for the main event, but you know what, and then Orton comes down and tries to beat up Reigns with the steel chair. Reigns hits a steel chair shot to Orton, and the feud continues. Match tonight I'm going to give to Swagger and Rollins, and overall show, it was a decent SmackDown. Not the best, but not the worst. Swagger versus Rollins really stood out to me, and you know, there were a couple of other good matches and some good segments, but a lot of recaps, and it just wasn't the best episode of SmackDown. So I guess I'll talk to you guys later, and I'll see you in my next review. Bye.